Hey everyone, Ross here. Welcome back to the channel to a brand new guide video, very much requested. Now, guys, in this video, I'm going to teach you the best possible way to do what I call a villa-only raid on Valley. So this is a loot run primarily. It's not a PvP run. However, you can run into players while doing this. Now, I'm going to give you a quick sort of brief overview of the type of loadout I take into this sort of run. So if you do us a massive favour, guys, please like the video before we start. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Now, I've just literally done a raid, and I'm going to show you it in a minute and talk you through what I do. But I found some decent stuff in it. I got the fuel tank, some pocket watches, etc. Got some decent stuff from the run. Now, as for my loadout, guys, I am in tier 4. Now, I've picked this one because it's very light. It's aluminium and, of course, tier 4 helmet, composite, whatever, tier 4. GS2 is very, very important. If you don't want to get that one, you can go with the Commander. Now, I'm using an MDR. It's a close range and long range weapon. It's entirely up to you what you use, but I would recommend some sort of excuse me, assault rifle or SMG for that. As for rig, I take quite a big one. I take 2 extra mags. I usually take 2 grenades, but I haven't actually restocked yet from the run I just did. But I will take at all times, very, very important at this sort of run, if I can find the friggin' things, is a stim of every sort. Now, the blue one, I don't usually use that unless I get overweight and I'm on the way to extract. The green one, you'll see when I use that, and the red one is to get there as fast as possible. Like I say, I'll explain that on the way there. I do take extra ammo in my safe. I make sure I've got 2 slots free because one of these days I might find a secret intelligence and I want to get it into my safe as fast as possible, but I will remove the ammo from there and put it in my backpack if I do find something worthy of going in the safe box. Now, I think I need to heal myself quickly. Like I say, I do take 2 grenades. I take at least 2 grenades. I'm just going to buy another one quickly before I finish this part of the video. I usually go for the GHOs because they're quite cost effective and very, very effective in the game itself. Now, I used to take smoke grenades, but they're not very necessary. Obviously, there's 2 ways you can extract. I'm going to show you one way, the easiest way, and the other one obviously is run to extract. So without further ado, guys, let's get into why and how I do everything. Right, so then guys, you've just spawned into the raid. It doesn't actually matter whereabouts on the map. You spawn, if you know the other spawns, you know how to avoid them. Now, this is why I take the red stim and I take light, kit. Usually I take an MPX or something where I can run faster. It is actually faster than the MDR, but I had an MDR handy for this run. Now, I'll take the red stim straight away, and there's a good reason for this. I am checking the spawn over there just in case there's anybody up there, but there isn't this time. Is because I will literally, from the start of this match, run straight to Villa. Now, there's a good reason for this, guys, is because if there is a couple of spawns that are closer to Villa than I spawned here, and they have a chance of getting there before I do, depending on what the priorities in the match are. Now, obviously, my priority is to get there as fast as possible. I've got all the keys for the Villa. I'm going to open all the loot rooms. I want the loot that's inside them. I'm not bothered about other players. Now, this specific spawn, obviously the beach is in the way of me and the Villa, so I'll run to the beach and then let me stamina come back up and I run across the beach as fast as possible, usually with my knife out because obviously you run faster with a lighter weapon in hand. Now, the scavs that were just shooting at us, guys, I don't waste time turning around to kill them. They're not hitting us, and what they're doing is they're distracting other players from my whereabouts. So usually when a scav shoot at you, you're like, oh, they're giving away my position. I want them to give away my position because I want players to think I'm over there, not running straight to Villa. So it's very important. If you can help it, don't kill the scavs. Let them shoot you. I don't know what's going on with my aim here. I think my aim bot just decided to stop working there for a second, but whatever. Now, once in the Villa, which you're coming up to now, this is the part when I'm inside the Villa. It's entirely up to you what you loot first, but I'm going to tell you what I loot first and why. Now, I will have a tendency to... Ooh, look at that fuel drum right there. That's a nice place for that to spawn. I have a tendency to go straight for the main motel room. This is just my personal preference. I will kill the scavs if they're in my way, but I'm not really bothered. I only kill them if they're going to sort of threaten my safety. Now, I go straight here because this is obviously the highest costing room, and that's where I want to get the decent loot from. Sometimes you can find really decent loot inside of here. This time I didn't, but I have found a gem necklace a couple of nights ago. Now, I use this time while I'm looting to reload my mags, heal, etc. if I do need to do that. And as you can see, some of the scavs are going to push us, so when they push us, I'm going to take them out. But I only take them out when it's necessary to do so. I don't shoot them until they come to me, because I want to prioritise my loot time at all times. You know, get as much loot as possible in a short space of time, because obviously players can push in at any point in the match. There could be a full squad, there could be like half a squad, whatever. But obviously I want all this. Now, as you can see, he's hurt me. He's nearly took out my arm in a couple of shots. Now, usually I would sit and heal. Most people would pull out their med pack, but this is where the green syringe comes in. You want to maximise your loot time. Your loot time has to be as low as possible so you can be in and out. So this is when I take the green syringe, just so I can heal over time while I'm looting everything. Now, once I've done the main bedroom, guys, I'll go to the free safes, but it's very important, I feel, that you do garage last. Now, most people will go to garage first because it's the first thing you come to on the way in. But if another squad pushes in, or some of our players pushes into the villa, you've got more chance of taking them on from the back than the front. You've got more cover to hide in. You can actually wait around for them to push you, or push the free safes and take them out before they even know you're there. So that's why I'm doing it in this order. As you can see, I keep checking my health to make sure my health's in order. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to speed up the looting a bit and then come to extraction. So then, guys, you probably noticed once I came towards the storage room and stuff, I started checking the garage area and aiming around, you know, because at this point in the match, you know, you've been in it a while, it's like 5 or 8 minutes into the game, players are going to start coming, and scout players are going to start coming. Obviously, most scout players will come straight to Villa. They want to get free loot, or dead bodies with gear on, or kill a player that's sort of still looting there. So that's when I start checking. One actually pushes us here, but I get the jump on him. I don't think he knows I'm in here. That's a scout player there. Absolute clueless to things going on. Now, I was lucky in this game, guys, even though it's ranked, and I am master ranked, that a bot squad decided to push on Villa as opposed to actual players, so I was lucky in this regard. I think there was one player towards the end of the little PvP scene that you're seeing now that wasn't really sure what he was doing. He started shooting the wall. It might have been a bot, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I got lucky in this case. However, in other games, this point in time, most people have been at small factory or RV by now, and they're going to come into Villa if they're feeling brave and try and get you. And this is why I do garage last, because I get to check the area first before I go loot it, as you can see I'm doing now. Making sure I shut the door behind us so nobody can lob a grenade from behind us. And I mean, to tell you the truth, with garage, it's usually crap like it is right now, so usually I just loot the safe and then leave. I don't usually say anything in the coat or the case or anything like that. Now, obviously, garage is your last port of call. Now, a lot of people will then get greedy. They'll go to RV camp, they'll go to small factory, raid the other safes and stuff. And I have done it in the past. I do it on stream occasionally, but it is risky. Now, one important thing to note on this match is that the helicopter was there. When you're doing a villa raid, the helicopter is the best extract because it's right at the back of there. You don't need to leave the villa, you're not going to get sniped by anyone, and it works out for the best for everyone involved if you're by yourself or if you're with your squad member. The only problem is you need 2 dog tags to actually escape. So that's when, thankfully, this bot squad came into it. I knew they were there, I knew they would have dog tags, so I hunted them down to take the dog tags to use for extraction. Very, very handy for me. Obviously, if you run into players, you take their dog tags. If you don't manage to get 2 dog tags, this is the point where you would have to sort of stealthily run to the other extract. But like I say, thankfully in this one, I didn't need to do that. Now what I'm doing here, guys, I'm just sort of checking around the last couple of loot spots before I try and escape. And that's when well, I'm assuming it was a player because of how it was acting. It wasn't a very good player. I think he was just sort of new. Maybe he's looking around to see what he could find. Started messing around inside the villa building. And I waited around until he came out and killed him, which I will fast forward to now. So obviously, guys, like I say, this could have been a player. Obviously, I realised it was probably either a new player or a bot, and that's why I decided to push. He wasn't there, he was here. But he didn't really seem to think he knew what he was doing. Now what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to take this guy's dog tag, briefly look at what gear he's got on, and then, if you recall, the bot squad I killed outside the wall. Very risky, obviously, but it's less risky than pushing towards the, you know, the other extracts. I'll go outside the villa and find one of their dog tags, so I've got 2 in total. I think that was a bot looking at his gear again now, because he didn't have any extra mags, he had 3 guns. Probably was a bot player, but it happens. There's the bot players all over the shop, you know what I mean? It's not like they're a problem realistically, because in this case they helped me out a lot. Now, I don't know why I ran past his body first and then had to look around for it. I should have just known where it was. I couldn't remember where exactly I killed him at first, but he is right here. Now, after you've got your dog tags, what you want to do is still be relatively careful. You can see the movement there. I'm not really sure where this guy is. I don't think I actually see him. I don't think he's inside the villa. I think he's outside the villa trying to be clever. Now, when you come to activate the helicopter, guys, it's 1 minute countdown before it takes off, and you must be in it for the last 20 seconds, so make sure you are there. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm making sure there's not a camper, because obviously the helicopter's there, people would have heard the shots and stuff. A lot of the time, you'll get people who camp the helicopter just to shoot you as soon as you're there, because it's very exposed using this one. It's not like the safest one to do, but it is the most convenient one. So what I'm doing is, realistically here, guys, I'm going to activate it. I'm going to make sure there's nobody watching me from camp spots. Like inside the villa, you've got the mountains over to the east, and you've got the port over here to the west, which people will camp with sniper rifles to shoot you. So that's what I'm checking for. You can also go behind the helicopter, and it stops a lot of people inside the villa from even spotting you in the first place. I see a lot of people stand at the front where the red smoke is. They're really easy to spot, and I've killed loads of people this way waiting on the helicopter. You know what I mean? So that is pretty much it, guys. This is how I do villa raid, as I call them. You can obviously escape other places. Generally speaking, if I'm going to escape somewhere else, I will just literally run straight there. If I'm a bit overweight, I'll take the blue syringe, but I'll try and avoid people as much as possible. Anyone gets me with scavs or players, I will shoot at them, obviously, but tend to avoid it. This is a purely loot run, guys. I'm going to be doing a PvP guide as well, so if you're interested in that, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.